I'm Mike from Nascent Startups, where we help founders with nascent stage startups navigate the first steps of their business. Essentially, when a founder has just the kernel of an idea, but no customers, no product, no funding, they have a nascent stage startup. Many of those founders wonder, is this idea a good idea? We help founders decide quickly and cheaply whether their idea is worth pursuing. Today, I'm going to tell you the story of a founder we worked with named Carley, and this was exactly Carley's situation. Carley had an idea for a startup called BundleShop, and she wasn't sure if she wanted to move forward with it or not. And by using the Nascent Startups methodology, she was able to come to a decision whether she thought BundleShop was the right opportunity for her. She was able to go from the kernel of that idea, that uncertainty, to a decision on whether to move forward and invest more time and effort in her startup. One of our main goals with Nascent Startups is to minimize founders' initial investment. So I'm really excited that Carley only invested 10 days and $0 in this project. So I'm going to show what that looks like. Essentially, two questions define nascent startups. Today, when a founder says, I got an idea for a tech startup, now what? The goal with nascent startups is to answer that question. And essentially implied in that question is, what's the best first step for a founder when you got an idea for a tech startup? And to answer that question, we've got a second question, which is, startups can be open-ended and tedious and expensive. It's really easy to sink a lot of time and money into your startup. So we believe that your best first step is to evaluate quickly and cheaply whether you've got a 1 in a million distraction or a 1 in 100 opportunity worth pursuing. Is this business idea something that you want to sink a lot of time and money into? And so then the question is, how do you do that? Like, would it be cool if there were like a crystal ball that would let you know that this is a distraction or an opportunity? That's our goal with Nascent Startups. And to answer that question, we've got a 3-part answer. So first part is anti-playbook. There's a ton of startup advice out there. Most of that advice does not apply to the nascent stage. Most of that advice is not going to help you answer that core question of, is your business idea an opportunity or a distraction? The thing that will help in the core of nascent startups is exploration. Search for people in pain and try to quantify their pain. And then use that data in an evaluation to determine, do you believe your odds of success are 1 in 100 or 1 in a million? If you're interested in the details, you can see more at nascentstartups.com. But for now, I want to just focus on Carley's experience using the methodology. So Carley is a mom with 2 young kids, and she noticed this pattern, this problem that kept happening in her life, and she wanted to solve it with a product. She said, I want to create BundleShop as an app for moms to shop for bundles of stuff. She often found herself having to buy 3 or more products at a total purchase price of about $50 for something that they were doing. Back to school, starting camp, doing a birthday party, whatever. And she thought, why do I have to come up with this each time ad hoc? Wouldn't it be great if there was a bundle ready-made for me? So the first thing we did is a core idea with Nascent Startup called disideation. And so the concept with disideation is that a product idea, that's how we start as founders, that's normal, that's great. That's how entrepreneurs work. But it's not where we want to stop. What we think that's really valuable, the most valuable part of this idea for this product, this idea for this business, is what it implies. BundleShop implies that there are people in pain out there, and that BundleShop is going to help those people in pain. And so with Carley, we looked at that product and we said, okay, who are all the different people in pain that we could think of that this is going to affect? Moms who are challenged by this bundle shopping. There are school administrators who have to organize shopping. They send out a bunch of emails or text messages telling the moms what to do. There are store marketers that want to get those moms in the stores to buy the bundles of stuff. I just want to call out that there's a subtlety here that I've seen many founders miss, which is they'll say, oh, schools have to organize shopping or stores want more shoppers. If you're talking about schools or stores, you're not talking about people. And it's really important to focus on the people because we're not talking about the janitor at the school or a specific teacher. We're talking about the admin that has to tediously organize every single shop by every single parent. It's really annoying. Similarly, it's not the cashier that cares about selling the merchandise, it's the marketer. So we really want to focus on those people in pain, and this disideation exercise, going from product to people in pain, is a great way to do that. Once you've identified your people in pain, then you got to figure out who you want to look for. In Carley's case, you want to start by focusing on the moms. You need to search for these people in pain to really understand, are they people in pain? Like, yes, they're people, but how much pain do they have? So the first step for searching for people in pain is planning. And so Carley had to plan these interviews. For her, it was actually super straightforward. She's a mom that drops her kids off at school, just like a bunch of other moms dropping their kiddos off at school. So she just was going to walk up and talk to the other moms. Very simple. One subtlety, though, with Nascent Startups versus a conventional interview is that the Nascent Startups methodology is all about capturing ground truth. Don't have people do surveys. Don't rely on any handwritten notes that you take at the moment because it's going through the filter of yourself. Definitely don't rely on your memory. You have to get ground truth. And today with your smartphone, it is so easy to do. So in this case, Carley used the voice memo app on her phone and she just said to the moms, do you mind if I record? And she got these great audio recordings. Once you have those audio recordings, the next thing that you want to do is go from speech to text. And to me, this is one of the most underappreciated, unknown features of Slack that is just so powerful and so awesome. So anybody from Slack who sees this, thank you. Everyone at Nascent Startups, we use this feature all the time. You guys are rock stars. If you upload an audio or video file into Slack and you wait a minute or two, you get a free transcript. And we've just found this so powerful to be able to listen to the audio while reading the transcript at the same time, because the audio lets you hear the emotion in people's voice, and then you can really capture exactly what was said in the transcript. And that combination just really ensures that you get great ground truth, which is the heart of what we're trying to do with Nascent Startups. Let's go through Carley's experience as a founder. The thing that I'm most excited about with Carley was she was able to go from this idea for BundleShop to deciding that 1 in 100 or 1 in a million within just 10 days and $0 of investment. The essence of Nascent Startups is this efficiency and speed. So if you have spent weeks or months or years on your startup idea and you're like, I wish it could be faster, I'm here to tell you, yes, it could be. Look at Carley's experience. She did it so quickly. It's awesome. Carley pitched this idea on March 6th, and it really resonated. There was a lot of reason to think that she was going to find people in expensive, excruciating pain. A couple days later, Carley did the hardest thing to do with a startup and the most important thing to do with a startup, which is get out of the building. And she ran her first interview, and then she did it again. She got 4 more interviews the following Monday, and then she got 3 more interviews the next day. And at this point, she actually felt comfortable moving into the analysis stage. We ask founders to get somewhere from 5 to 20 interviews before doing this initial analysis. So 8 was a little bit at the low end, but again, it's Carley's decision as a founder when she feels comfortable transitioning from interviews to analysis. And then once we did the analysis, it was actually super fast for Carley to get into the evaluation stage. So I want to show you exactly what the analysis looked like in Carley's evaluation. Like I said, we use Slack. So we took the Slack transcript, dumped it into a Google Doc, and Carley and I went through the Google Doc together and listened carefully for any indication of whether the interviewee, in this case, Andrea, might have pain or might not have pain. So Carley asked Andrea about, when you're prepping for your son's birthday, what was your experience? You had to buy a bunch of stuff. Like Andrea's like, yeah, I had to buy a bunch of stuff, but she bought some stuff on Amazon and some stuff at the dollar store, and she had to get balloons from somewhere. But Carley basically summarized it as, so you piece together a little bit from here, a little bit from there. And Andrea just said, yup. Yup is not pain. Yup is very much not pain. It's just a normal run-of-the-mill experience. Most experiences are normal run-of-the-mill experience. But what matters here is we have some really key quotes that let us understand Andrea and that we can capture in the next part of the analysis, which is going from qualitative interview data to quantitative data. So we take that quote, that conversation between Carley and Andrea, and we can basically boil it down into a dollar amount. As far as bundle shopping is concerned, Andrea feels $0 of pain. And honestly, most of Carley's interviews were like this. Emily, Jordan, Meredith, it's seamless going from school to camp, or we just get hand-me-downs from friends. It's not a big deal. All of these quotes, and this is, raw audio that we could go back to Carley right now and listen to. All of these quotes are really clear indications that these moms did not feel pain. The last 2 interviews actually kind of were interesting, so I saved them for last. Alyssa said, I'm always looking for cute clothes, which I love. Alyssa has negative pain, which is called joy. If Carley came to Alyssa and said, you should use BundleShop, Alyssa's going to say, leave me alone. I love shopping. Don't take away my joy. So Alyssa is like the antithesis of somebody that Carley could create a startup around. Alyssa will never become Carley's customer, ever. The last person, though, was actually also really interesting, Isa. So Isa is Mexican, and she's living in New York. And what was interesting about Isa was that she actually does have pain. Her quote was, I thought something like BundleShop was missing. I wish someone would say like, hey, for the next 6 years, this is what you're going to need. And all this shopping, she said, quote, makes me anxious. Anxiety, as founders, we love that. We love to find people in pain because we're here to make the world better. And if everyone's happy, then there's nothing for us to do. We're looking for anxious, unhappy people. And what Isa's specific situation is, she's from Mexico. And for her living in New York, she doesn't know what she needs. She's never heard of rain boots before. She doesn't know what these kids need. For her, it's really stressful trying to take care of her kids as opposed to, Alyssa, who thinks it's fun and cute. So the point of this spreadsheet at this point, the point of this data is we can now plot the data that we have of the moms and their pain. And it looks like this. So most people in the world don't have pain, as that's what normal looks like. Alyssa has negative pain. Do not take shopping away from her. And then there's Isa, who has some pain, but we don't really know how much. We simplified and called it $1, but it's probably more than that. And Carley would really need to do another interview with Isa to dig in and really understand a bit more. But the goal with Nascent Startups, again, is to empower founders so that they can make this decision, this evaluation, quickly and cheaply, whether their business idea is a 1 in a million distraction or 1 in 100 opportunity worth pursuing. And for Carley, this was enough. So we talked about a crystal ball, and basically this graph of quantified pain, this is the crystal ball that Carley used to make this determination. I really just want to highlight before I give you Carley's answer that this is a deeply personal decision. One of the big ideas behind Nascent Startups is founder empowerment. We believe that it's only the founder who gets to look at this data and decide whether their business idea should live or die. So given that, what did Carley decide? Carley decided that she wanted to stop, that this wasn't the project for her. That's completely her choice, and we support it. Our role at Nascent Startups is to just provide the tool for the founder to make their own decision. Since, though, this is a podcast and I want to be interesting, let's just explore what would happen in an alternative world. Let's say that our friend Carley here is Carley A, and maybe there's an alternate universe, there's a Carley B. Ha ha ha, Cardi B. Another founder might look at this exact same data and say, you know what? This could be a 1 in 100 opportunity worth pursuing. Green light. I'm going to keep going. What would that look like? In this case, what that would look like is the founder needs to refine their exploration. So one of the things that we learned, and creating a startup is all about learning, one of the things that we learned was all of those moms who were born in America, the domestic moms, they approached shopping one way, and the foreign mom, Isa, who was originally from Mexico, approached shopping a different way. She had a lot more pain because she wasn't used to the environment, the weather, the culture, all these things that were tied up in bundle shopping. So if there were a Carley B who decided to go forward with BundleShop, one opportunity that they would have would be to focus more on these foreign moms. A key thing to call out when we plot all those moms on the x-axis, what we're implying is that they're all the same. And they're not all the same. That the American moms, the moms who grew up in America, they didn't really have pain. But the one person who we spoke to who was foreign, who didn't grow up in America, she had pain. She had meaningful pain. In this case, Carley B could go and try to find more of those international moms to see if there really is a deeper, more expensive, excruciating pain that they're feeling. You'd want to create basically two pain graphs where the domestic moms seem to have zero pain, but maybe with the foreign moms, there's a lot of pain. But we don't live in a world of Carley B. It's only Carley A. And the key idea with Nascent Startups is doing a quick and cheap evaluation. So you might ask, why is there value here? And it really comes down to limiting waste, trying to be efficient, because we believe that if founders can spend less time on distractions, they'll have more time to focus on those 1 in 100 opportunities. And that's exactly Carley's story. She's already onto her next project. She already has an idea for another startup that also seems really promising. And we're really excited to help her and support her in this journey. The mentality that I would hope founders take, especially at the nascent stage, is, when one door closes, another door opens. And that's definitely been Carley's experience. So if any of this is interesting to you, if you're curious to learn more, you can go to nascentstartups.com. We've got a bunch of content there, blogs, podcasts. You're welcome to reach out to me through NascentStartups.com. I would love to hear your thoughts. I'm also on LinkedIn. And if you're a founder, if you're like, this is neat, I got a nascent stage startup, I've got an idea for a tech business, now what? Sign up at NascentStartups.com, and in that welcome email, you'll see a link to join our community. Thank you so much for listening. I'm a founder myself. I personally believe that founders are people in pain, that they're struggling so often with how to navigate the nascent stage of their business idea. And I really hope I can help relieve some of that pain. So thanks.